Out my ducks, it's Simon here. Welcome back to the Hermit's Cave. Hope everybody is doing okay. Shall we light some incense? Even though it gets very smoky. We'll see how we go. So I wasn't here last night. I have a class on a Wednesday, so I wasn't able to do a video. And tomorrow night is youth club. I help facilitate a youth club. So that'll be another very late night. So jumping on now, because I thought we could take a look today at the Marchetti Tarot. So Ciro Marchetti, who, if you're in the tarot community and you've been around for a few years, then Ciro Marchetti has a number of decks out. Encore is one that springs to mind. There's just so many. Tarot Dreams is another. But I was intrigued by this one because he's actually put his name to this deck. So this is the Marchetti Tarot. It's written by Lee Burston, and I am always in two minds because I do find that some of his decks are quite similar, and I have heard people say before, you know, if you've got one Ciro Marchetti deck, then you don't need any more. But I think that's unfair because there's a lot of creators out there who have their very own style. Robert M. Place springs to mind, Patrick Valenza, etc. But each deck brings something different. So yeah, that's my view, and I'm always open to take a look at what kind of where the creator has gone with their next deck release. So it says on the back, the tarot deck is a rich tapestry of mythology, history and art, well suited for questions that have the same psychological depth to them. That have some psychological depth to them. Marchetti Tarot imagines the 78 cards as a collective theatrical ensemble, with each interaction offering an infinite number of possible plot twists. Each performance is unique and personalised as the cards explore the full range of human emotions. In many of the dazzling cards, Ciro has focused on the faces, encouraging an interactive relationship that allows the reader to get to know the characters and their stories more intimately. I love how it's being described as, you know, a drama, a play, and these are characters. And I also like that there's a lot of faces, because you do pick up a lot from expressions. By inviting us to explore who they are and what they express, we can ask meaningful questions and divine answers that will illuminate our own experiences. And this set has, a 116-page illustrated guidebook in which Lee Burston explores different approaches to tarot reading and offers card spreads with instructions and sample readings. It's by US Games. I knew that without even looking for the logo, just by this design on the side. It's their two-part box. This one is a little bit stiff till it breaks in. Nice, sturdy, but it also has quite a soft matte finish, which is lovely. This is the book. Pop the cards to one side for a moment. And as you can see, it does have illustrations. They're all in black and white. We'll just stop at the Magician here. So you get a page and a half for each card. And it describes the scene. So it says here for the Magician, like the Fool, this magician differs from traditional depictions. Usually he's a street magician standing at a table with the tools of his trade, or a ceremonial magician performing a ritual with a wand, cup, sword and a coin representing the four suits of the tarot. In both cases he appears as a young man. In the Marchetti Tarot we see an elderly man gazing at us with an amused and knowing expression. He shows us his open hand upon which appear magical symbols. Around his head, we also see a halo containing more magical symbols. So I really like the fact that the book is depicting the scene for us and breaking it down, talking to us about the symbols, what we're seeing in the cards, and what the artist's intention was for that illustration. Love when books do that. The minors, less text. We're getting like half a page for each card. Not for all, some more than others. And then we've got some spreads and things at the back. So, nice little book. The deck is housed in this little tray. It's nice, and there's no gaps or anything. You see it's a tray inside a tray, and that protects the cards from slipping underneath or getting damaged. We've got this chocolate brown effect here. Okay, these are the backs. In fact, let's bring the camera down so we can have a look more closely at the detail. Okay, yeah, so the backs here, and I like this because it does come across quite theatrical, and there was reference to, you know, actors and a performance. How did they word it? Plot twists, a collective theatrical ensemble. That was it, a collective theatrical ensemble with plot twists, and they talk about performances. And with these masks, it very much reminds me of theatre. Yeah, so that's interesting. We do have copyright on the backs, but that's US Games for you. I think these are standard tarot size. Yeah, they are. I think they would benefit from being edged in black. They just have this, there's no gilding or anything with this deck, which is unusual really, because I don't know, I would have thought they would or have edged it, but anyway, let's take a look at the cards together. I love this fall. I love it. I love the fact that, and it does seem, you know, he talked about in the description for the Magician card that the Magician traditionally is depicted as young, and I think this deck is going to really embrace wisdom that comes with age and things like that as well, because I love to see a well worn out face in the decks, because it, you know, that's a life lived, isn't it? I love the fact that he's holding a full card from the Tarot de Marseille. We've got the dog here that we often see, the Fool's dog, and he's holding this mask that's on the backs of the cards as well. I'm wondering if that makes an appearance throughout the deck, or just with our Fool. He does have a court jester, a court jester type hat with the bells and everything on it. So, and he has depicted this type of Fool before. Here is our Magician, as mentioned, and when I read it out in the book, again, we have somebody who's of a advanced in years. Lots of symbols on the fingers, on the hands. Here's our High Priestess. She's got her scroll here. Beautiful. Look at all the candles illuminating around her, like almost like a headdress of candles, representing light and knowledge. Is she holding a tarot card as well? It's hard to see exactly. She's got a pomegranate in her hand. Here's the Empress. Beautiful Empress card, very Gaia energy, with all the kind of the wildlife. We've got fish and birds and animals like a stag and a leopard and a zebra. Yeah, just very Gaia. She's got the world in the palm of her hands, and she's part of nature. Beautiful Empress card. Here's our Emperor. It's interesting that he's part stone. It's part of this stonemasonry look. and even going up into his skull, this human into stone, that rigid, that structure. The Hierophant, I'm not sure what I feel about the Hierophant. It's very Christian. He looks like the Pope, you know, he's holding rosary beads. It's not my favourite at all. And I think if people, you know, have had a background in Christianity and want to step away from that, then probably not the best card, really. But the Lovers, that's very theatrical. It's on a stage, look. We've got the curtains behind. I love the little Cupid here up at the top. It looks like a scene from, I don't know, Moulin Rouge or something. Chariot. Strength is beautiful. It's very pagan. She's wearing an animal skin. But beautiful, beautiful lion. The Hermit, love the Hermit. I've seen a card similar to this before. I'm not sure if it's in one of Chiro's decks, but where the Hermit is walking off here, and then we get a lantern, you know, very much in the foreground. A wheel rather than the Wheel of Fortune. Justice with her eyes closed. We got the scales. Lots of light in this deck, like candles and flames and for illumination. The Hangman, interesting Hangman. Death is brilliant. I love the Death card. I love the purples as well. We've got these angels, almost like stone angels. Archways and structures. We've got Celtic cross. Holding a white rose to represent that transition of life and death. We've got the decay of the face here. Temperance, fire and water. The Devil. Interesting that there's a key in his hand. Really interesting. I might just have to have a quick look at that because it's intriguing me why the Devil. Let's have a look. What does it say for the Devil? So, there are a few tarot decks where the Devil is shown in a positive vein, signifying fun and letting one's hair down. In most decks, he's a scary monster, suggesting materialism, obsession, addiction, and all manner of unpleasant things. The Marchetti Tarot's Devil travels a different path. Neither terrifying nor mischievous, he gazes at us with a neutral expression. His large pointed ears and his elaborately bejeweled horns make him seem otherworldly. While not immediately alarming, he does seem a bit sinister. Perhaps it's the unhealthy red glow under his eyes, or the creepy pointed fingernails. The Devil is very obligingly offering us a key. Now, anyone who's seen a vampire movie knows that it's a very bad idea to accept a vampire's hospitality. We can look at this image in one of two ways. Either he's enticing us. Okay. I love how it's really going into detail and breaking down the image. I'm not going to read it all because I think, you know, if you're going to buy this deck as well, there needs to be that element of studying yourselves and reading the text. I'm always conscious that if I read too much from a book, it can, without express permission, it can, yeah, it's not always a good thing. Here's our Tower, the Star, the Moon. Ooh, love the crayfish here. We do it again, we've got like the Madonna and Child here. The Sun. I mean, I know there'll be people watching and saying, well, actually, if you look back at RWS, there's lots of Christian influences. And I agree, there is. but I don't know if I want that in a modern a modern deck. Okay, we have wands, so Ace of Wands, and we have the 2, 3. I'm loving the diversity in this deck, particularly, I mean, we do see more inclusivity now with ethnicities, but it's lovely to see, as somebody who's getting older, it's lovely to see older people represented in decks, because I still think it's an underrepresented group in tarot, along with disabilities as well. Oh, look at that. Wow. I mean, it's a powerful deck. The images are really powerful. There's our page. We just get a P and wands, a KN for knight, Q for queen, and a K for king. And now we've gone from the fiery colours to these nice blue watery colours representing the cups. I love that. I love the eyes represented in each glass and the hands. Beautiful. Oh, this is a nice image. I didn't mention the cardstock either. It is a matte cardstock. There is a sheen to it. It's nice and soft. Good US Games cardstock. Love the colours in that one. Beautiful. Because the 10 of Cups very often has a rainbow. And whilst not all the rainbow colours are there, there's a good kind of spectrum. And then we have swords. The air suit represented here. Again, more candles coming out of... Oh, look at that. So there's something different for 3 of Swords. And look how she's looking over her shoulder. You will weep over me. Good perspective at the 4. 6. She seems a little bit too big for that boat. We get a lot of facial expressions for the courts. Coins, not pentacles. We have coins, the earth suit, and oh, it's a beautiful ace. Possibly my favourite of the deck so far. I love the little squirrel here. Oh, look at that for the 2 of coins, that balance. We've got this tree, very earthy, becoming a foot with a ballet slipper right on the tiptoe of this rock, and everything's balancing here. Clever. 3 of coins. Interesting, that's a mirror. Oh wow, 5, looking in, look. You've got the warm glow of the inside and the stark contrast of the outside, the winter scene, the cold, and she's looking in where we've got fruit and bread and a kettle. Some cards in this deck are amazing. Here's our Fool on his journey through the deck. Yeah, if you see all the kind of facial expressions, look for the courts. And very much in line with their suit that they represent. It's a lovely deck, really lovely deck. The things I like are the diversity, in particular representing age. Like I said, you get that, you know, we are whatever point in life where the sum of our lived experiences. So therefore, when you get older people in deck, they tend to, you know, be more expressive. I get more kind of emotional hits from it. Some images are really striking, quite profound. I mean, I love the kind of the emotion and the expression in some of the cards. Others, you know, like I mentioned with the overt Christian theme, I personally don't like that. It just, but that's because I've got my own kind of issues with that, but that doesn't mean anybody else will. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. This is the Marchetti Tarot by Cero Marchetti, released by US Games. Be interested to hear your thoughts of it. Thanks for watching, everyone, and until next time, go in peace. Namaste and blessed be.